There's a difference between training hard and training like you're qualifying for Boston. Because chasing the marathon standard isn't about how much you can survive. No, it's about knowing what calculated moves to make that are going to push you forward and ones that might hold you back. So if you're new here, hey, I'm Case. I'm a 356 marathoner. And this series is called Chasing the Marathon Standard. And I'm in the process of taking my 356 marathon time down to a Boston qualifier. And I'm documenting the entire way. In episode 1, I covered weeks 1 and 2 of this half marathon block. If you missed episode 1, no worries. I put the link in the description so that you guys can check it out whenever you're done here. In this episode, I'm going over weeks 3 and 4 of that training block where my discipline got tested. Week 3 and week 4 are probably the most two crucial weeks of any training block. I mean, think about it. In week 3, you've upped your mileage usually 3 weeks in a row, and you're starting to feel good, and you're starting to feel strong, and your legs are almost lying to you. And if you don't back it off and take a recovery week, your legs are most likely going to really feel it. Let me explain. So in week 3, you've most likely revved up your mileage 3 weeks in a row. For me, I'm up to 52 miles, and my legs are feeling strong, and they're feeling good, but I can feel a little fatigue setting in. That is when your ego can creep in. Luckily for me, in week 4, I put my ego to bed. Week 4 was a lower mileage week. That means low intensity, lower mileage, and this wasn't because I had to. My legs were feeling strong, but because I'm training for the marathon standard, not for Strava. Let's talk about it. Down in the comments, what's the most difficult part for you during a training block? For me, taking my foot off the gas and having a recovery week, because when I get rolling, I want to keep rolling. So one thing that I like to do, have these calendar books that I like to use for documenting all of my running. This helps me stay on target, and it helps me easily track what my mileage is and what type of miles I'm doing. For example, I give all the details of what I am running and the type of run that I'm doing, and so that I can track it all so that I can see how things are going. Without further ado, I do. So now let's get into what my training was like for the last 2 weeks so that you guys can see what my half marathon block for weeks 3 and week 4 look like. So let me show you weeks 3 and week 4. But so this week it was 52 miles, and I will show it right on the screen here. Monday, like usual, is my rest day. Tuesday, I did a little over 8 miles easy, or zone 2. Wednesday was my interval day. In this, I did a mile warm-up and cool-down, sandwiched in between. I did 6 by kilometer repeats and 6 by quarter repeats. So as you can see here, the quarter mile repeats are my 5K pace, and the kilometer repeats are my 10K pace. Jovi, she's under the chair. Here, let me see if I can show you. A brief intermission for some puppy playtime. Hey, Jove, what you doing? Okay. Over there. What are you doing? Get it. Get it, Jove. Hey, dog. What you doing down there? Let's get back to the show, okay? Thursday was a little over 6 zone 2 miles and about 30 minutes of strength work. Friday was my first ever double day. In the morning, I did about 4 recovery miles or zone 1 miles. Then in the afternoon, I did a little over 7 miles with 5 by 20-second strides mixed in. And I do that in my last mile. Saturday, some more zone 2. Then Sunday, my long run. I did on and offs where I did zone 2 and then half marathon pace / effort. So you can see on the screen here how I broke that down. And that gives me a grand total for week 3 of this training block at 52.42 miles. Week 4, I'm going to have to do a little bit different. So for week 4, as you can see right there, my Monday, like usual, is a rest day. My Tuesday was 8 miles of zone 2. My Wednesday was another 8 miles, but this was my interval day for the week. So here I did about a 1 mile warm up and 1 mile cool down. So then I did 4 times 8 minutes at half marathon effort with a 2-minute walk. And the whole purpose of the walk was just to bring my heart rate back down to zone 2, and then I'm ready to do the next one. So for this, I like to aim to have around threshold effort for my heart rate, and as you can see here, my heart rate was lower than I was hoping for, and so you'll see that in my last rep, I upped the tempo. Then we moved to Thursday, about 5 miles of zone 1 / zone 2. It was a recovery day, and I put the little hyphen in there because essentially I was at the top of zone 1 and low end of zone 2, so I like to make a little note of that, just in case in the future I'm doing the same exact run, I can see if I've made improvements or not. I was very happy that Friday and Saturday of this week, I was able to run outside. The weather had finally started cooperating. It wasn't cold enough that I was risking getting sick or anything like that. Friday, I did 6 miles of zone 2, and then I did some strength training, which I did for 25 minutes, I believe. And then the same for Saturday, where I did 6 miles, and in the last mile, I sprinkled in 5 times 20 seconds of strides, which you'll see the paces right there. And essentially, I just want to make sure that I'm controlled in a controlling effort. And now to Sunday, my long run. I have not finished that yet. I'm actually about to do that here in a little bit, but I wanted to get some filming done while I was waiting for my caffeine to kick in, because I do like to have a lot of espresso. I have about 6 shots a day. I'm just waiting to make sure that everything is out of my system so that I don't have to take any potty breaks. So I live in upstate New York. I live just south of Canada, so sometimes our winters are quite harsh. It is, I think, 25 degrees outside right now, and so my long run is geared for 12 miles, which at that effort is going to put me about 2 hours, maybe a little bit more depending on how I'm feeling. And with the elements, my heart rate probably will be a little bit higher since it's so cold out. And the last thing that I want to do, a quarter of the way now through this half marathon training block, is to catch a cold or to get sick. So the risk for me is just not worth it, especially when I have a treadmill set up that I'm about to show you right now. So let's go. I have a TV set up right there, so I'm going to have the Tokyo Marathon playing right there on that TV while I run on my treadmill so that I can catch up on the race. And depending on the POV of the video that I pick, I can also simulate being a part of the race to a degree, which is pretty cool. That's why I like to watch a lot of videos that are treadmill virtual runs. It makes you feel like you're a part of the race. It also mentally prepares you, at least for me it does. But this is my training setup. I have the Nordic 2440, I think it is, with iFit. So essentially what it does is it allows me to be able to run on the treadmill. I can pick a Google Maps course, like whatever marathon or half marathon that I'm training for, and it will auto adjust. It simulates running outside, which is pretty cool. Now, obviously, it's still a treadmill, so there's a little bit more bounce to it, and it's not going to be a 1-for-1 switch out, but it's about as close as I can get. So for me, the risk of getting sick outside just isn't worth it compared to what we do have the option for here, because I did invest in this. I love running. So for me, it was an investment worth it. If you have the money to spend, I really like it. I have gotten the most out of mine. If you live in a climate where it's nice and warm, or, you know, the elements allow you to run year round, you probably don't need it. But it is pretty cool. There's a whole lot of things you can do. I don't know if you can see that, but it goes up to 12 miles an hour for running, which is a 5-minute mile pace. And then it goes up to a grade of 12%, which is pretty good for a home treadmill. And it also goes down to -3. So if you're training for downhill runs, you can do that on this treadmill, which is pretty cool. I did want to take a minute and just thank you guys. I cannot believe how much support has been going on in episode 1. I did not expect to get any comments on the video. I didn't expect to get almost 1,000 views. A number of you subscribed to the channel to follow along the journey. I can't thank you enough. I mean, truly, I'm just doing this YouTube channel for fun, for people that want some extra tips or want to see what training for Boston really does look like from your average person who works a 9-to-5. It's been really cool to share my story and share my journey with you guys so far, and that even one person is interested in hearing about it. It does mean a lot to me. I'm so excited to continue this journey and share it with you guys, and I hope that there's something that you can get out of it, or maybe this is something that I can try one day, because you can. Everybody has it in them. You just got to dig deep and find it sometimes. Also, if you are new to the channel and you are enjoying my content, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps out. So that was my recap for weeks 3 and 4. I just got done with my long run. Felt good, felt strong, really enjoying this training block so far, enjoying that I have a rest day tomorrow, so I'm going to catch up on some YouTube myself. I really appreciate you guys following my journey so far, and I hope you're enjoying the content, and I'll see you in the next one.